what's going on, West? How you doing? Time for a little Tuesday today, huh? Huh? I already got one video I want to watch that I already know is gonna be a hoot. It's gonna be a hoot. I want to watch Young break down just how fucked Overwatch 2 is right now. So, if you haven't heard about what they did to the lore, you're gonna lose your mind, West.
Here we go again. Plenty of people are not happy with the state of this game. The user score, you can see it's pretty low on the Metacritic scale. Then if we go to
so Young does, and you know about the lore, you know what they did. Yeah, Young does an amazing job of basically summarizing it. I think everyone should probably watch this video because it literally, this showcases just how dog shit Overwatch 2 is. It is so sad. It is so sad to be an Overwatch player and see Overwatch 2 being the worst game on Steam ever, and then they fuck up the lore, which was one of the saving graces, one of the one good things about Overwatch, and they fucked it up. I don't get it. I don't get it, dude.
Steam, the user reviews are still over.
And I see some people being like, well, it's because they never actually wrote a detailed story. They kind of had ideas, right? Because apparently, I was looking at it earlier, McCree's like fucking 75 or some shit.
Overwhelmingly negative, sitting at 9%.
McCree's like 75, and Farah and Mercy have like a 4-year difference. Like, just look at this,
recent reviews and overall reviews, making it literally the worst user-reviewed game on Steam ever by a pretty significant margin as well. I've already covered why that is, from Overwatch 2 not really making a significant leap from Overwatch 1.
Wait, what? McCree is 75, you'll see.
To its monetization,
he should go into
progression, and reward systems and loops being a lot worse. And on top of that, you've got things like how the PvE was greatly diminished by how they cut the hero missions. They did retain the story missions, but even then, those are not all that substantial.
Just call them bad. Just call them bad, Young. Yeah, you can call them bad. Everyone else called them bad. Sure, they're fun for a little bit, but they're bad.
Like they offer some fun, 2 hours or so worth of content, and they are going to be more.
It's crazy that everyone said the PvE was 2 hours worth of content, and I spent a month reviewing it. It was such a waste of time, but at the same time, like, that video didn't do anywhere nearly as well as I thought it would, too, so it just kind of sucks, but whatever.
Missions down the line, but you have to pay $15 for each new set of story missions, or pay some kind of fee for new story missions. So, for this free-to-play experience, the fact they have to pay after they cut hero missions with the skill trees and all of the missions that would take advantage of your ability to kind of customize your heroes, all of that's left a very sour taste in people's mouths. Now, a big part of the attraction of Overwatch,
this is where shit starts to go bad,
is the characters, their backstories, and the overall lore. And that's one area that stands to be compromised as well, because Blizzard recently decided to update Overwatch with official ages for all of the different characters. If you go to the official Overwatch website and say,
this is where it gets bad.
Take a look at Illari.
So yeah, Illari's brand new character. She's 18. Sure,
see right here that she was born on December 21st. She's age 18. You can go back and take a look at Genji and see that he was born on October 28th and is 37 years old, so on and so forth. So why is this getting backlash? Well, because if you think about the ages in relation to the lore and the backstories that have been revealed thus far.
I know certain people the lore changes won't affect. Pedophiles are probably pretty happy with the lore changes, I'll be honest.
A lot of these ages don't actually make any sense whatsoever. It just feels like whoever decided to give these characters the current ages, they just kind of threw numbers out there without really considering.
You mean the backbone of Overwatch? The lore? The backbone of Overwatch? Yeah, the thing that makes Overwatch good. Dude, before Overwatch had even come out, we were given lore for the game. We were given a trailer. They were trying to steal Doomfist's gauntlet.
And so it's just baffling fans. At the very least, fans,
like literally, the first teaser trailer for Overwatch was literally full of fucking lore, dude. Why were they stealing this gauntlet? Who is Talon? Blah 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 blah. Like, you know what I mean?
Had the story and the lore to cling on to, but when even that is being kind of butchered, or at least being inconsistent, where it just breaks immersion, that's when Overwatch really is going to start to lose the fans. And a lot of fans are baffled by this. So this right here is somebody who posted, heroes in Overwatch 2 now have canon birthdays and ages. And scrolling down, you can see that
it's so weird because he's not associated with like the Overwatch community. I know Overwatch Calvary. He said this person. It's like a whole organization.
Are pointing.
Or it's like a group of guys doing this.
Out that there's some nonsensical elements here, like how the fuck is Kiriko 21 when allegedly she grew up with Hanzo and Genji, and they're like twice her age? And you can see that these issues are widespread enough that tweets like this highlighting how Overwatch did the funniest thing possible, release ages that completely fuck over and destroy the barely
existing lore of the world they've been trying to build for 7 years. Yeah, isn't this a crazy tweet? This is a genuinely crazy tweet, and it's so true. 4.8 million views. Overwatch did the funniest thing possible. It's sad. It's very sad.
Their existing lore of the world they've been trying to build for 7 years. Tweets like these have gained tons of...
How do we keep... How does Overwatch... I genuinely thought we had already hit rock bottom. How does Overwatch still continue to decline? I don't get it. We already hit the worst game on Steam. We had nowhere left to go. Truly nowhere left to go but up. We hit the bottom of the cliff, right? We're in the trenches right now. We're in the ravine. We fell down the Grand Canyon. We're at the bottom now, broken legs, waiting to be fixed, right? Instead, we grabbed a shovel and dug deeper. I don't get it. I don't get it. How? Why? Why?
Of traction. This one right here has over 44,000 likes, 4.8 million views, and in the replies, people are highlighting some of the issues that they've encountered. Once again, bringing up Kiriko, Hanzo, and Genji.
You about to
Augie
see the
here
vision,
pointed out,
right?
no PvE, but thank God we know the age that they are. My favorite part is where Kiriko is 20, Genji is, and this is a mistake, Genji's actually 38, not 28, and Hanzo's 40, but somehow they grew up together. People have even pointed to official images showing Kiriko's past and her training with Hanzo and Genji. Right here is Tom, who tweeted,
This right here is bullshit. They look a few years apart. Maybe like she's like 3-4 years younger, maybe, than like Genji, and then there's Hanzo, right? Maybe I could see a 3-4 year age difference right here between them, and then 3-4 year, so that'd be like what, 8-year difference between Hanzo and Kiriko. That's probably fine. They were just short, bruh. No, that is someone who is like around Hanzo's age. That's what someone who is Hanzo's age should look like. So we're over here supposed to believe that this man is half this guy's age? You gotta be fucking kidding me. He's just tall. So I guess when you're 21, what is it, the Shimada brothers? They just have good genes, huh?
Kiriko being 21 makes no sense when the Shimada brothers are 37 and 40. It means that both Genji and Hanzo are adults in these pictures, but you can see right here, this is Kiriko, and these are the brothers who look like kids. They're clearly older than Kiriko.
It is so bad. How? This is what I mean when I talk about... Terrible place to pause. My bad, dude. What I mean is, how do we get to this point? I keep talking about polish. Why isn't there any polish around Overwatch? They release skins. They're broken. They release events. They suck balls. They update the lore. It's fucked. Where's the polish? They just make shit and shove it out. There's no one who double checks anything. The fucking event skin for the Ana, the hide and seek event, it was a recolor and they fucked that up. I'm so tired of Overwatch 2 being a game that apparently has 25 million users every fucking month, but it doesn't feel like any of the money the game has made since Overwatch 2 has, came out and started making all this fucking money. Where is the money going if not back into the fucking game? They're not hiring people. Polish isn't there. They're clearly not hiring people to work on the fucking lore. Overwatch, the game's been out for nearly a fucking year. A fucking year, dude. Ugh, I get so frustrated, dude. Literally every time I think it can't get worse. We hit rock bottom. We are the worst game on Steam. And we find a way to fuck up the lore. No one double checked it. No one said, hey, let's go back and look at some of our previous lore videos, and maybe this will help us kind of figure out where we're at. No, they literally just threw some fucking darts at a fucking a board and said, let's see, where's Kiriko's age? All right, we threw it. She's 20-something years younger than Hanzo. It's like, oh my god, dude. I didn't think I'd get this pissed. I knew about this shit like a fucking week ago, but like, oh my gosh, dude.
Like 16 to 19 years, you can see right here that these two are still kids, clearly, you know, preteens to teens. If Genji and Hanzo really were 16 to 19 years older than Kiriko, then they would definitely look like adults in these official images, which is why people are highlighting this image and asking questions such as, I'm supposed to believe that Genji is in his 20s in this picture right here, which is a very good point. Next up, we got some lore surrounding
Dude, you know the
McCree
thing
and the
is, we're supposed to believe that that is young Genji. This is supposed to be young Genji. He's in his 20s. We literally have young Genji skins. We have Genji when he's in his humanoid form before he got fucked up. That's young Genji. That's probably Genji in his 20s. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can find it. Young Genji skin. Like, literally, this skin exists in the game. This is what a Genji, like, maybe in his 20s would look like, right? This is what I assumed a young Genji was, right? Because there are... These skins exist in the game, dude. So it's kind of like... What do you mean? This is Genji, and then this is Genji. Like this...
Picture right here,
whatever.
Which is a very good point. Next up, we got some lore surrounding McCree and the establishment of the Deadlock Gang, which, when you look at McCree's official age, doesn't make sense in relation to what the current lore has established about him. So right here, McCree was a founding member of the Deadlock Gang when they started in 1976, 47 years before McCree was born, and then was recruited by Blackwatch at the age of 17. Does Blizzard even read their own writing?
Here it is.
Somebody else
That's what I was talking about.
Additionally, Blackwatch was formed only 8 years before the story's present time, meaning he would be 25 at most. But now, who gives a damn? He's 37 years old, I guess. And Overwatch itself takes place in the...
So Overwatch takes place in the 2070s. McCree apparently helped form that gang in 1970. So this is what I meant by McCree is apparently like 100 years old. This is what I mean by they didn't check any of their fucking lore at all.
But now, who gives a damn? He's 37 years old, I guess. And Overwatch itself takes place in the mid-2070s. So McCree is canonically 3 different ages, ranging from 25 to 100 plus, depending on the narrative. Like, does Blizzard have a lore master to help them keep track of everything and
no, they
to
don't.
Make sure that when they put out official information
it's
like
very
ages,
clear
it all lines up? Or is it that they just haven't really been doing a good job of keeping track of things, or haven't been invested enough in really fleshing out the lore until maybe more recently with the story missions? Again, this is just so immersion breaking for fans who have been invested in the characters, their backstories, and the overall lore of Overwatch. Now it's hard to tell what's real and what isn't.
By the way, I love that shirt. I just now noticed his shirt. Banger ass shirt.
Canon, what isn't. Others have also been highlighting how Blizzard officially deems Illari to be the youngest character, but Orisa here is age 1 versus Illari's age 18. Now, Illari is a human character. When it comes to humans, she is the youngest character. This right here is not the biggest deal in the world in the grand scheme of things, but it's just funny seeing certain more robotic characters not being acknowledged in terms of age. I don't know. It is what it is. Some people have been pointing that out. But back to a more serious lore discrepancy. It is highlighted right here.
I feel like Orisa's older than a year. She's off of a model that existed like previously, and it got upgraded, so maybe she was sentient for a year. I don't know.
By Attack of the Fanboys, that some fans have highlighted how Sojourn's age has been brought up with some questionable issues. Sojourn's
listed age of 47 means her twin sister was only 14 years old at the time of her daughter's birth. That's a pretty weird story for Blizzard to tell.
Of 47 means her twin sister was only 14 years.
And I would think when they writ the story together, that they had intended for teenage pregnancy to be in Overwatch, but here we are.
Years old at her time of daughter's birth. Or as Twitter user Save You a Click Video Games put it, Sojourn is 47, which means her sister Valentine must have been 14 when giving birth to Bonnie. Which isn't technically impossible, but has certain implications that I don't think that Blizzard was going for, given that Overwatch is supposed to be more, you know, like family friendly. Further highlighting discrepancies is the Drifter here, who said that Sojourn's age now suggests her sister had a child when aged 12 to 14. Pharah wanted to join Overwatch from a young age, but was locked out as it was disbanded before she could join, yet somehow she's older than Winston. And then the Shimada Bros and Kiriko having a 19-year gap, so on and so forth. And then beyond Sojourn's age implying that her sister gave birth,
there's also a bunch of shit wrong with Winston, too. There's like something like, by the time Winston had actually joined Overwatch, Pharah was like a child in one of the photos. But it makes no sense, because like lore-wise, Winston never joined Overwatch until Pharah was like already a grown-ass woman. Guess who I look now. Talk to you later. Take care, Flower.
During her early teens. There is also this discrepancy pointed out by Katie. Sojourn cannot be 47. I'm so sorry, but she was allegedly already a military officer when the crisis started 30-odd years ago. Be so serious with these ages, Blizzard. And while Sojourn did join the military at a young age, Katie did highlight that her being a captain at age 19 is still a stretch, especially because her lore says she went to university and then the service for at least a year before becoming a captain, all before the crisis.
Sojourn would be like 30 years. Sojourn would have to be like 50-something, dude. Sojourn would have to be old. She needs to be around Soldier's age. She needs to be an old character. Sojourn is an old character. She's an old character. Don't make her 40. Make her a bit older.
And then there's the issue of Mercy and Pharah's age, who seemingly have a 5-year age difference based on how officially Mercy's apparently...
This right here. So there's a 5-year age difference between Mercy and Pharah right here. Apparently.
39 and Pharah supposedly 34, but art of Pharah exists in Anna's origin story that shows a
5-year age difference. She looks like she's like fucking like maybe 14 right here. Mercy looks like she's like 23, 24. It looks like there's like a 9-year age difference. Mercy looks like she's in her 20s. Yeah, at least a 9 years minimum, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Mercy could easily be a decade older than her. Pharah could be fucking 12, maybe 30. Mercy's probably, she could be older. It's proven. Lore, this is one of the few lore things they've given us. Mercy's healing beam, the way she figured out how to heal and stuff like that, all her techniques and stuff keep her looking younger. Mercy was one of the OGs. She should be old like Ryan, old like Sojourn, old like Soldier. You know, I don't get it. I don't like if Anna is young right here, right? Anna's old now. Everyone else in this picture should also be old. But hey, maybe there's young McCassidy, but even then, apparently he's been around for fucking 60 years at this point because he formed the Deadlock Gang. So I don't fucking know where to go with this.
Very, very young Pharah
standing
with much of the original Overwatch crew. The gap between the two, between Mercy
All
and
we need
Pharah,
is a time hero. Oh, wait. You mean Tracer, who literally can go back through time in different points of you know?
appears much larger than 5 years. You can see right here, that's young Pharah, and that's Mercy, who seems...
Tracer's literally a time hero. She gets stuck in her own, like, time loop. Because of the plane she was piloting.
pretty grown up at...
Dude, I would hate... I would fucking hate a multiversal thing with Overwatch. Overwatch works because it's not multiversal, I think. If they randomly started doing some shit that Valorant does, where it's like, oh, the enemy side is actually just a different universe of us trying to kill us, I'd be like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Valorant's a great game. Super competitive, terrible story. I hate Valorant.
Twitter user Saved You a Click also highlighted this in their summary of Kotaku's reporting, saying that Mercy and Pharah are 5 years apart, but Mercy and Pharah are shown together during the times of the original Overwatch crew in Anna's origin story. In the art, Pharah is depicted as a child, while Mercy looks much older than a 5-year difference. I guess one potential explanation is that Mercy had a hell of a growth spurt and just matured very quickly during her teenage years. But regardless of the case,
it's a stretch.
People are just not buying it. And so some are speculating that it's almost as if Blizzard never wrote down a concrete timeline and backstory, so stuff like ages gets messed up constantly. Others are highlighting how there have been implications that Mercy is significantly older than Pharah. This Twitter user noted how they remember the game mentioning how the healing effect of Mercy makes her age better, so she looks younger than she really is. So yeah, these are just some of the examples that fans have been highlighting. Some are bigger discrepancies than others, some are bigger deals than others, but either way, there are enough discrepancies or enough inconsistencies that fans feel disappointed at Blizzard's lack of care.
No, Mercy's supposed to be like, Mommy Mercy. She's supposed to be old. She's an old lady. I don't get it. Mercy's lore is actually one of the more fleshed out lores because of Loverwatch, where you could romance her. You actually got even more lore. Mercy's been through shit, man. Mercy went through a lot. And she eventually left because she didn't like all the violence and shit she was around. But, she came back. Had to say it. It's like, who greenlit this, man? Where's the polish? Whoever decided, whichever, I think this is a completely fair thing to say. I'm sorry. Whoever figured out that this is what they wanted to do with the lore absolutely needs to be fired. I don't care. People are like, you shouldn't call for them to be fired. You shouldn't call them to be... Whoever did it should no longer be working on the lore. I think that is safe to say. Put them on writing for the next PvE missions. Put them on something else. Keep them away from the lore. Whichever team sat down and said, this is what we're going to do, and released it, proves they don't play or understand anything about their own fucking game. And they just throw shit out there. I don't know what to do anymore, dude. We're at rock bottom. Never let them cook again. Whichever team was responsible for this absolutely needs to be gone. I don't understand. We have 7 years worth of lore videos you can go back and watch to at least try and get an idea of where to start. And again, it feels like they just threw darts at a board and said, that's their ages. I fucking hate it. I hate it so much, dude.
For the Overwatch lore and its characters' backstories, because so much of the value that's placed in Overwatch is surrounding the characters and the lore that people want to get more invested into. And with story missions now being a thing, if they can't keep the lore together...
Exactly! If story missions are a thing and you're fucking up this badly, how are we supposed to be excited for the next batch of PvE missions? To be fair, the next batch of PvE missions, I bet you they're already halfway done, if not mostly done with them, because there's like cutscenes and shit that from 2019 that's we never seen in the PvE missions. There's probably half of the shit already done, but still.
And consistent,
I don't fucking
and immersive,
know, dude.
And make it feel like, they put a lot of thought and care into it, then it's going to drive even more fans away. Numbers surrounding Overwatch 2 have already not been looking great. There's definitely been a downwards trend when it comes to players and, content creation, participation, Twitch viewership, you name it. And now with the lore...
So Overwatch is still...
Or
I keep pausing bad places. Overwatch is still apparently a very big game. Apparently a very big game. But none of the money goes back into it.
Being compromised by this rather kind of clumsy release of ages that don't align, it's not going to make for better optics surrounding a game whose optics have suffered greatly over the past couple of months and years. I'll be very curious to see if Blizzard will take the feedback from fans and players and will update these ages to be more consistent. But, I mean, the story is one of those things that shouldn't require a patch. You know what I mean? That's at least one thing that Blizzard should be able to kind of hold together. It's so disruptive to one's immersion.
It makes me wonder just how bad it was when people left because of the lawsuit and the return to office mandate and, the pandemic and all the other shit that Blizzard's gone through. Like, Blizzard as a company has been through some shit. Don't get me wrong, but how much talent was lost going from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2? It's almost... well, we've heard several times. It's a completely different team working on the game now. We got people from, Activision working on on Overwatch now, which is why the calling cards feel like they come straight out of Call of Duty. So I don't know, dude. It's just so weird. It's so weird to think about, like, how do we get this bad? Like, it's clear it's probably because everyone else is gone. It's wild to think. How much talent truly left? Because I've been keeping an eye anytime, because I follow a bunch of Overwatch creators on Twitter. Anytime I'll see, like, a Blizzard dev be like, hey man, it was great to be here, I'm heading out now, and it'll be like the lead artist. And I'm like, how? You're losing the lead artist and no one's saying anything? You know what I mean? Or it's like the marketing director just left the Overwatch team. Like you're the one who marketed all the PvE stuff. What do you mean you're leaving now? You know what I mean? Like it's weird. It's so weird to see this game just the way it's being worked on. It's being so forced, man.
When that universe doesn't seem
Like
to.
would I have taken a year of what we have of Overwatch 2, or would I have taken just another year of Overwatch? In a heartbeat, I'd rather have just another year of Overwatch if it meant we got what we wanted. I'd rather take another 2 years of just Overwatch, shitty, boring, bland Overwatch, than get what we got.
Know itself. You know what I mean? Doesn't seem to know its characters,
Oh,
its stories, and its many historical circumstances and happenstances that allow
I've been saying
one to just.
I've been saying Overwatch has kind of had like I said it a couple times. Overwatch the developers have a problem with identity when it comes to hero identity, and they mentioned it was so important for the Kiriko stuff. They didn't want to recolor her and change her too much because they wanted it to be Kiriko, right? And then they fuck with all these robot skins and they do these basic ass, bland ass, boring ass, stale ass calling cards that have no identity or authenticity to them. They're just Call of Duty fucking calling cards thrown into Overwatch, and then it's like now they fuck up the lore. It's like, dude, the developers who are working on our game actively don't understand the characters and the lore. That is problematic. This is probably the most concerning thing for me when it comes to Overwatch is that the people who are writing the story, the only reason most people have even fucking stuck around this long, don't even understand the story. It's like, where do you go from here? I already thought we were rock bottom, but now here we are, dude. I don't know, dude.
Just kind of
I'm about to end the stream. I'm getting so annoyed. I want to go make a
about,
video.
Just such blatant, I mean, really obvious mistakes. Stuff that sticks out like a sore thumb and you don't have to really look that deeply into to see how inconsistent this stuff is. So hopefully Blizzard will address all of this in some way. They're either going to have to retcon some stuff or fix the ages to match existing lore, or they're going to have to just like change up the lore a bit in some way, shape, or form. Either way, this is just kind of a messy situation for Overwatch's lore, characters, and backstories. But this is one man's take on this whole situation. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on Overwatch 2 releasing the characters' ages and what fans have been saying about the inconsistencies. Is this something that disrupts?
All right, I'm gonna end the stream really quick. I'm just gonna restart it because it'll be easier to download the VOD if the VOD's only like 30 minutes compared to like 4 hours. So I'm gonna quick stop stream and restart it.